All right, welcome to our amazing wolf pack and our rockets. You guys are the rockets, right, Janelle?
Dynamite.
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 Close. I was close. Ah. Anyway,
They both
um,
explode.
exactly. They all explode. That's so true. So thank you guys for joining us for our weekly pop-ups that we do all summer long, because you guys get sick of hearing my big mouth, and so you get to hear another person's big mouth, which is great because I get to shut up for once, and I know you guys enjoy that. So no, seriously, April Rudman, what can I say about April Rudman other than she's absolutely amazing? That I love her dearly. She's one of the sweetest people in the world. I know. She calls me out on my BS when I need called out on my BS. But seriously, y'all, she just promoted as of June 1st to a senior director. Woo woo! We're super excited for her. And you guys, let me tell you, I am on her team page, right? And I have seen the explosive growth that she had in 30 days. Like, if you would have seen her structure, I don't know, maybe March-ish, you were kind of, at a healthy place, but holy crap, you guys. Like, literally in 30 days, her organization just exploded with new recruits. You guys had what, 40 couple last month?
41, yeah, 41 last month.
Yeah. And so April not only promoted to a senior director, how many fast track directors did you promote last month?
I personally had 3 first generation fast track directors, 1 first generation fast track advanced, and then we had 2 second generation fast track directors and 1 third generation fast track director.
Okay, in 1 month, you guys.
So including my promotion, we had 7 promotions last month.
7 promotions. So, Janelle, you guys are going through the same thing in your organization, right? Because Amanda is month 1 of exec. She qualified. And so what happens, you guys, is when a team focuses on what their goal is, right? That's what happens. It can't be one person on a mission. It has to be everybody on a mission together to do it. I know because I'm in the background of Amanda's page, I'm in the background of April's page, and I've seen what they've done. And it's really about a team working together toward a common goal. That's really what it takes. Those of you guys that know me know that I've had this dream forever to be an executive team, and we will get there one day, but I can't get there without you guys, okay? And so really, that's why if you've seen what we've been doing, we've all been shifting gears toward recruiting, because when is a better time than right now to recruit anybody into our organizations? You guys, our company was up 300% in sales, okay, last month. That does not happen. That does not happen to a company like ours unless we're just all in the right place at the right time, which means that not only are we in the right place at the right time, but you're also welcoming a slew of new consultants into the best time to get everything that they possibly could go after, right? How many of you guys would love to be able to give, I don't know, to welcome somebody to your team and say, here, have $500? Would you love to be able to hand a $500 cash bonus to someone?
Yeah.
There is nothing more empowering than helping someone else and helping yourself at the same time, right? Because when we give, we get. And that's really what recruiting is all about. Recruiting is not about any one of us, okay? It's not about how many people can I add to my team, right? It's not about that. Recruiting is a selfless act. Recruiting is we recruit because we want to change someone's life. We want to give them the best life possible, right? I know you guys have heard my sappy story a million times, but you guys know that almost 9 years ago, had Pampered Chef not walked into my life when it did, I would have been out on the streets with my kids, right? And there's lots of Beckys that are out there waiting for you to ask them. So when I thought about recruiting, and I thought, who could I add, who could I have hop on here with me to really share just, her valuable information and how they just really got recruiting and what recruiting's all about, April popped into my mind, because she does it because she's got the heart of gold, right? And she just wants to help everyone. So April Rudman, take it away.
Yay!
Yay! I'll shut up now.
I love Becky more than she loves me, just so you guys know. I'm just saying. So anyways, so thanks for having me here, you guys, to chat with you guys. Recruiting's my gig. It's my deal. It's my like baby. It's my most favorite thing. I mean, I like getting people great shopping sprees for hosting, but I love when I have people join our team, because I love seeing the excitement that they get for every little nook and cranny of like, oh my gosh, I got this ceramic egg cooker. Oh my gosh, I just got my, my 8-inch skillet. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just totally, submitted $1,000 part. Whatever it is that they're excited about, I love being there every single step of the way and just really enjoying it together. And then the same thing on our team. Like we do a lot of like, excitement for each other. Everybody, people that have never met in person, we're just like excited for each other. That's what it's all about. It's all about the life-changing experience of, like Becky, like many of us, having this be able to be whatever you want it to be. And I tell a lot of people, I mean, it could be that you want to just have a little pocket money. That's fine. I do not judge. If that's your goal, great. If you're someone that says, hey, I have some debt to pay off, great. Let's get you out of that debt and let's pay it off. That's perfect. If you're someone that wants to, save for a house or pay for a wedding or whatever it is, you can make it be what you want it to be. It's not what I want it to be. It's not what someone else is doing. It's what works for you. So that's what I really love is like, Pampered Chef is moldable to every single person, and it's not a one size fits all deal. It's what works for you. And guess what? What works for you now is going to be different than what works for you 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 months from now, and that's okay, because everyone's going to run their business different depending on where they're at. And that's one of the things I love. I have 4 young kids. They are 13, 12, 10, and 7.5. If you did the math, you're right. It's 4 kids within 5 years. And yes, we do have a TV, but I have the availability to be around with them and to be, when we have school, to be involved with things in their school and everything. And I work my business around my family. I do not work my family around my business. I don't know very many people that can say that. I know a lot of people that unfortunately have gotten, sick or had surgeries or whatever through their business, and they are able to work their business around all of that. Again, I don't know very many businesses that you're able to do that. Typically, you would have to take leave. Typically, you would have to take personal time or sick time or whatever. We could roll out of bed and sit there with no bra on, not brushing our hair or our teeth or anything like that and make some money. Hello? Again, how many companies can you do that with? Maybe you can with other ones. I don't know. But anyway,
dying. I'm just saying.
Come on, you don't wear a bra half the time either, right? It's the computer. It's fine.
Stop giving away my secrets.
Yeah, nobody knows. So anyways, you guys, honestly, I see that some of you guys have your pictures on here, but to be quite honest with you, how many people with a show of hands literally ask every single host about the opportunity of Pampered Chef at least once? Like, raising your hands. Be honest. No judgment, just curious. Okay, so some of us aren't asking at least once, right? Okay, so how many of you guys ask at least 5 times your hosts from like start of the booking to the end? Okay, I can't see everybody. Did anybody raise their hand that they do 5 times?
No.
Roll through. No one did.
I can see and no.
Okay, I have you on the side because I have my notes on the left. I'm double dipping here. So that's the biggest thing I will tell you that's changed for me since 2 years ago, January, when I started using the Ask Each Host 5 Times little image that Claudia Bazar had shared. That was me being in the business for just under a year. And that's when things really changed for me with recruiting. So just a little background. When I joined Pampered Chef 3 years ago, I did fast track to director. I promoted director in my first 2.5 months, and I had 7 people on my team at that point. Not all of them stayed because that's kind of the deal, what happens and whatever. But my sales were high enough where monthly that I was able to make my 5,000 plus pretty much every single month since I promoted to director. And then I was still getting team members. And what I learned early on about recruiting is that it wasn't about me. And I didn't want it to be about me because I like to do for other people. And it makes me happy to help other people, like I said, reach their goals. But what you have to think about with recruiting is that it's part of the benefit of hosting a party. And if you're not offering it to your hosts, you're kind of like cheating them, you know? And I know that sounds harsh, but it's just kind of the truth. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. You're not allowing them all the opportunities that they should be able to decide for themselves on their party, their friends, their family. So why would I want to make money off of somebody else's friends and family? I'd rather them make the money off of their friends and family, right? So I ask my host as soon as I book a party, like literally I'm sitting there doing customer care messages right now for a virtual party. And I reach out to Becky and be like, oh my gosh, you know, you're so much fun in the party. Would love to do a party with you, you know, and help you get a great shopping spree like Tiffany is, you know, what do you think? Kind of a deal. And then when Becky's like, yeah, sounds great. You know, I have some other things I'd like to get, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, awesome. Just so you know, and here's my first time, and it's in that image. And I'm sure Becky has it, but if she doesn't, I can share it with you.
Oh, I got it.
Just so you know, when we do your party, we can actually set it up where you're the consultant on the party. So you actually make the cash and the host rewards of the free products and discounts. You know, are you looking maybe to make some extra income, or what do you think about that? I anticipate a no. This is not me being negative, you guys. I'm not a negative person. Becky will tell you. I anticipate the no because I'm prepared that that's a big ask for some question for some people. And I totally get that, because what is happening when I'm asking that question is they're going, oh my gosh, I can't even manage my kids and my job and my house and my blah, blah, blah. And whatever it is, I am not going to add Pampered Chef to that list. That's most of the time what's going through someone's mind, which is absolutely understandable, right? That's probably what all of us thought. Oh, background. I hosted parties for 13 years. And the last 6 of those years, I had 2 parties a year. Okay. So I hosted a ridiculous amount of Pampered Chef parties. Not every single time, but maybe half of those times, my consultant, who I ended up joining under, would say, oh, do you want to do this party as the consultant? You can make the money from it. And I'd go, no. And she's like, okay. That was the extent of her recruiting spiel to me. Okay. Like, I just hit elite status this month. I've already earned the level 2 trip. I just got excellence in 2 categories. I have a team of like 100 and I don't even know how many people right now. I just hit senior director. Can you imagine had I joined 13 years ago where her team would be, where I would be? Can you imagine? But I never got the meat of like what it entails to be a consultant. I was never enlightened on the experience that it could potentially be. I just knew I had 4 kids and I could barely keep my head on straight, and I was not doing anything else. I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't even know what that something else is. So that's just a little background. But so I anticipate that no right off the bat, and that's fine. Becky, just keep it in the back of your mind as we do your party. I'm really excited to help you get everything on your wish list. Start keeping track of those things and make your wish list online. Awesome. Then we go through, we start the party. She starts inviting people in her party. And as she's inviting people in her party, of course, Becky's engaging in them because she's having fun with her friends. So she's like answering, she's posting comments to things they're saying and yada, yada, yada. Oh my gosh, Becky, you're so much fun in this party. And you guys, I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. She's not sitting there like a bump on a log. She's genuinely having fun in the party with her friends, which is what you do at a party. I hope anyways. And so I'm honest, like, you're so much fun. I really think you would love trying out. And I use the words trying out all the time because that sounds small. It doesn't sound like, do you want to start your own business? Because I'd be like, no, I don't. Like
that sounds
big.
like work.
That's big. Like work. Yeah, exactly. Like, do you want to join my team and start your business? No, I don't. And that's an easy, like, no. So Becky's response, again, I expect a no, because she's still processing all of this, right? So she so she goes through the party, and then as things continue, she starts getting some orders. Oh my gosh, your friends and family really enjoy Pampered Chef. I can tell that, you know, you're going to have a really successful party. You know, just so you know, we can still turn it to, see, I'm not on direct ship, so I can do this, but I still turn their party around if I can in the middle of it. Even if there's a couple orders in, that's my choice, because again, I like to think of the other person. I'm like, Becky, I'd rather you have that $100 in sales and be able to make the 20 bucks from it versus me, or whatever it is at that point. So I still offer it to them. And I've never had people be like, no, sorry, I already placed my orders for my friends. I don't really want to move them over to her as the consultant and get her the money. I've never had that happen. People don't care. So I delete the original orders under me, and then I have them reorder under the new person. It's never happened that they've gotten mad about it. They're excited to help their friend, right? So, so that's the third time I'm asking them. And I'm not saying every time, do you want to be a consultant? Do you want to have your own business? You would be so great. Like, it's not like, shut up. Because I'll tell you right now, if you make it be that, it's going to be like, no. They're going to be like, big N-O, okay?
Do you know why I'm laughing right now?
Yeah, why?
Because exactly what you're saying right now, and my team can all attest to, this is how I've trained them on this. Like, I'm not saying it over again. Would you like to join my team? Would you like to join my team? Would you like to join? That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, God, we sound like clones.
Because we're like made for each other. MFEO, me and you. But, you know, so it's all about the wording and adding in like, oh my gosh, this is so fun for you. You'd be so great. LOL, smiley face, thumbs up, like make it like personable, you know? No one could get mad if there's a smiley face or an LOL or a thumbs up or whatever. And I've never, ever, ever had someone go, April, stop asking me. You're annoying me. Really, I'm getting mad. Like, I've never had anybody get mad. Because I'm not saying, hey, can you do me a favor, join my team so I can make extra money off you? I'm not saying that. I'm not. Because it's not about me. I don't care. I don't need them to do it for me. I need them to do it for them so they can see the potential of what it could be for themselves, right? So that's 3 times. 4th time is, I don't know, I got myself off track. What's the 4th time? Anyways, you're going to ask a 4th time.
Parties at $300 or $400.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I got myself off track. See, you too can be a Pampered Chef consultant. Just saying. Okay. So when your party's at $300 in sales, does anybody here raising your hands not know what kit credit is? Be honest. I'm not judging. Just saying. Anybody raise your hand don't know what kit credit is? And I don't see any hands raised. Okay, cool. That's good. So when their party's at $300 in sales, it's about them. They have the opportunity to take $25 of their free product value and use it towards purchasing a kit. Okay. When the party's at $400, they can actually use $50 of their free product value toward the purchase of the kit. This month, you guys, when their sales are $650 or more, they're getting double free. I have a host whose party we're getting ready to close up, who's right now she's getting $330 in free product. I've asked her like a bajillion and one times already about trying out Pampered Chef. Today, like I always do, because this is the 5th time, I said, don't forget, Samantha. And I say it, don't forget, as in like I've told her 7 times before. I haven't actually talked about the kit credit 7 times before. I've talked about it once. Okay. Don't forget that you can take the $50 of your $330 in free products and use it towards any of those kits, even if you don't want to be a consultant. I throw that out there because I can't tell you, probably 90% of my team did not want to be a consultant. And then they do a party and they're like, oh my gosh, I have someone that wants to do another party. Or, oh my gosh, I really want to earn those fast track rewards. Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just earned a paycheck. Like, it's just like anything else. You just have to do it to see that you can do it and get like the handle on it. And then you want more, right? I have a lot of team members that's how they started. And then we joke about it and I make fun of them afterwards for the fact that, remember when you didn't want to do this? You remember that? That was so fun. And now look at you. That's because I have a good relationship with my team, so I can do that. But so I said to her, even if you get the starter kit, which is $99, and use that $50 on it, you're paying $49 out of pocket for almost $500 worth of products. You already have parties booked. Those are your parties, and I will help you with those parties, and we will get you going. What's the worst that happens? I said that to my host today, and she was like, okay, thanks. I appreciate you letting me know. She didn't say no. Okay. She hasn't said yes, but she hasn't said no yet either. But guess what? If I don't ask another time, it's always going to be no. So you have to ask. Okay. And that's like anything else. If you do not ask, the answer is always no. If you ask, then at least you know that you're doing everything you can to help them with all the options and all the potential that they can get. Right. So that's the 5th time. I don't have a chart of how many times people have joined my team on the 5th time. There's a lot. There's a lot. And there's a lot that have joined after the 5th time because I've actually asked even like multiple times. I've had team members after I ask them about the kit credit on the last time that they come back to me as they're doing their order. You know, I think I'm actually going to use the kit credit and do this. I'm like, oh my gosh. But you don't know, you know, and you have to ask. And I can promise you, if you ask one time, you're probably not going to ever get a yes. Really. It's going to be very rare that you get the yes on the one, unless that person's like super confident and daring and or they just love Pampered Chef off the wazoo or whatever it is. But it's pretty much not going to be a yes on the first try. I'm just saying. So you have to ask multiple times. But, you know, it feels like it's big. It feels like it's scary. If you're concerned about like them rejecting you, don't be scared. It's not a personal rejection. It's not nobody likes you. Everybody hates you. You got to go eat worms. It's just like, seriously, they're not interested right now because they don't know what that means, right? They don't really understand what it is you're offering them. They just know it's something else to add to their already crazy life and schedule. Okay. So, you know, let me see what I have written down here because I have a couple things I wanted to talk about. Oh boy.
I will tell you guys though, while she's looking at that, I mean, it's just another part of our job, right? You know, we teach you guys about host coaching. We teach you guys about customer care. We teach you guys about all of the different facets of your business to make it, you know, the business of your dreams. And recruiting really just is that. Recruiting just is one of our pieces of our job that we're to do. You know, it's kind of like any other 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job, right? When you start a job, you're given X, Y, Z. These are your job responsibilities, right? Do this, do this, do this. It's just a job responsibility, you know, and really, if you look at it that way, right, you just look at it as, you know what, this is part of my job. I just need to do it. Let me check the box, right? So check the box 5 times, right? You might surprise yourself if you check the box 5 times at every single party, how many people are going to actually say yes to you. And by the law of numbers, they actually, home office had kind of studied this when Claudia was developing it. And actually 73% of people say yes on the 4th ask. Okay. So of the asks, that's when you're normally going to hear the yes is on the 4th one. But if you don't ask number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 will not happen. Okay. It's about planting seeds in people's brains. I mean, how many times were you guys asked to become a consultant, right? How many times were each one of you guys asked by whoever recruited you? Probably more than one time. How many times were you asked to book a party? Probably more than one time. How many times do you ask your host to book a party? More than one time. How many messages do you guys send out to get one booking? A lot of messages, right? It's all law of numbers. It's the same thing with recruiting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you guys haven't heard the analogy yet, I think it's so true. But, you know, the analogy a lot of people like to use with recruiting is like the analogy of someone holding a tray of freshly baked cookies when you go to their house. So if I went over to Michelle's house and Michelle was sitting there, she just had a nice tray of freshly baked cookies and they're all
she
warm.
would too, because she's a baker.
Oh, well, see, there you go. Yeah, and they're all warm and they're chocolatey and they're gooey and they're amazing. And I walk in and we're talking and Michelle's talking to me and I'm talking to her and we're just having a grand old time. And I'm sitting there going like, where the hell is my cookie? Like, because she's holding the cookies And Michelle's holding out because she does not want to share the cookies with me. And I'm sitting there going like, what the heck? Where's my cookie, right? So recruiting's the same thing. Why do we get to enjoy all the perks of Pampered Chef? Why do we get to earn free products, earn trips, earn, commission, like all these different things? Why do we get to do that and not offer it to other people? And I'll tell you right now, I have heard people be honest, and it's okay that you're being honest, but you're going to have to get over yourself. Sometimes people will say, yeah, I really just don't want to give up the bookings, or I don't want to give up the sales of that party. And thank you for being honest. Guess what? I'm going to tell you something. It's so much more for your business when you share it with team members. I watched a training from March with Steve Trapolsky. I don't know if you guys all know who he is. If you don't, read him up, look him up. He's a kick-ass, awesome consultant, now national executive director. He said last year he made $156,000 on just the overrides from his team. He said if he had never offered the opportunity to people and did recruiting, think about all that money that would have been left on the table. Okay. And it's not all about money, but guess what? Anybody on here not like the idea of having an extra $156,000? Anybody? Nobody, right?
I'll take your $156,000.
Exactly. But think about how many people's lives he's changed. Think about how many people have been able to, get benefits from this company. And it's in so many ways. And you'll hear, if you've never been to conference before, you will hear a lot of those stories from conference, which I hope a lot of you guys registered for the virtual conference this year, because it's like the best thing ever. Minus the fact we won't be having hugs this year, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. But it's amazing to hear all these personal stories from people and how their lives have changed from Pampered Chef. And, like Becky said, last month, my organization had 41 new team members. I personally, since January, have had 20. It's just like, it's something that you do because it's part of what we do. And that's how I train my team. Like, it's just what you do. It's part of our job. I think it was a couple years ago, and I tell everybody this story because it really struck me, and it really, to me, was the big picture of why we do what we do in offering this to people. A woman had posted on one of our Pampered Chef Facebook pages that her story, and she said basically she was a single mom with a toddler and an infant when she joined Pampered Chef. She said she took her tax refund. So she took her tax refund, which is basically like money that she was able to access. At the time, she was living on her mother's couch with her baby and her toddler. So this woman had no place to live. Okay. They didn't even have a bedroom there. They had a couch that she could live on with her kids. Okay. That to me is like, very, very difficult situation. Okay. She took her tax refund. She bought her kit, and she said, here I am now, however many years later. And she said, we've gone on multiple trips with the company, and we're right now buying our first house. Like, that to me is life changing. Where would she be now if she didn't find Pampered Chef? How many companies can you have the flexibility, like I said before, to work from your computer entirely if that's what you choose? If she couldn't afford an apartment or a room to live in, I guarantee you she couldn't afford daycare so she can go to work. Where do you go? What do you do? But she was able to take this opportunity and make it whatever she wanted, and shoot, she's buying a house. Like, that's amazing, So I just like to think about that with people. You don't know who has bills. You don't know who's in debt. You don't know who hates their job. You don't know what people have going on in their life. So you owe them to give them this opportunity. I've talked to consultants that I've had people come up to them at cooking parties saying, can you really make money doing this? Because I'm in an abusive relationship and I need to get out. This is something that someone could use to help themselves in their life in so many different ways. So do not be selfish and not offer it to people, because it's really not fair. It's not your choice to make for them. It's their choice to make for them. Okay?
There's so many stories like that, you guys. I mean, I've been around almost it'll be 9 years next month. And I always go back to my beginnings with it. But over the last 9 years, I've heard so many stories like that. And literally that is what it's all about. You know, we shouldn't keep this business to ourselves. We should offer it to everybody that's hosting a party with us, because again, it's just part of what we do, right? It's just, you know, Pampered Chef has been around for 40 years because it's just what we do, right? We just share this business opportunity. If somebody says no to it, they say no to it, right? But you're never going to know what the answer is going to be unless you're asking, and you're asking at those particular times that are, you know, it's a flow for a reason, because again, it taps into the mindset of people that, you know, we always say no to the first thing that we're asked. It's kind of like when you offer a date for a party, right? If you offer 2 dates, they always go with the second one. That's just because we say no to the first date. So the second one is just naturally you say yes to. So April, I appreciate your time tonight. Do you guys have any questions for April? Any advice you want to grab from her? I mean, tips. Oh my gosh. What?
She was so good at already telling it all. I don't think I have questions left. I'm just like, I need to just rewatch this every day and soak more in.
Yeah.
So I
mostly in the attitude, because I'm not that cheerful, but I'm working on it.
She's really good at faking it too, let me tell you.
Fake it till you make it. It's my best
Exactly
friend
right.
motto.
All right, Sandra, you had a question?
Yes, thank you. So the 5 that you laid out, I was trying to take notes, but I didn't catch them all. Do you have them written down as to like when you do each of the 5 steps, kind of what your plan of action is? Pardon my assistant in the background wearing no shirt.
That's okay. My husband does that all the time in the
So
background.
I know
At least he's wearing pants today. That's all I can say.
I know both myself and Amanda both have the Ask 5 host or Ask Host 5 times graphic. So
Okay.
I'm sure. Hey, Janelle, would you mind tagging Sandra in that
Hello.
graphic? Do you know which one we're talking about that's red and white? I know I've seen Amanda post it before on there.
Can you tag me too, please?
Once I find it, describe it again, because I'm not gonna lie, I
It
was
says
looking for some
Ask
shit.
Host. It says Ask Host 5 times, and then it's got all 5 steps on it. It's red and white. And
Red
it's
and white.
Order. Yeah.
If it's on team and just on our team page, right?
yeah, I know I've seen Amanda post it. If you just look in your photos,
Yeah,
I'm
go to
sure
the
you'll
photos.
Yeah.
see it in there.
That's where I'm headed.
Okay, thank you.
If you can't find it, let me know, and I'll post it in there for you guys,
Okay.
because I can blow your team page up.
Don't call on Tiffany, even though her hand's raised.
All right, go for it, girl.
Have 2 hosts right now that are doing like excellent, and I'm on my
Can barely hear you, Tiffers.
screen. Can you hear me now?
No,
No,
you need your headphones.
no. Can you hear
No.
me now?
Barely.
Are you lying?
No.
It's teeny weeny, tiny voice.
You sound like an ant.
Erin, tag Sandra too, since you found it.
Yep, she was next on my list.
Sorry.
Thanks, Erin.
Okay. I just tagged it. It also popped it up to the team page. It should have popped it up to the top.
No, Tiffany. Now we really can't hear you.
Oh.
Type it in the chat box, girlfriend. Anyone else have a question? Gail, did you have one? No? Ashley, Yvonne, Lisa, Erin, Michelle? Any questions? No? Hannah, I know you just hopped on. Debbie, Marlene, Carolyn? All right, we're going to wait for Tiffany to type.
Well, while she's typing, I have 2 more things I wanted to say to you guys. So one is everybody on here, do you guys all do something every single day that has to do with your business that scares you?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah? One person shook their head.
not that
Everybody else-
scares me. Oh, okay.
Does it give you like nervousness? Do you get nervous about anything every day of your business?
I generally actually don't like talking to people as much as I should. To be
Okay,
a
that makes you
consultant.
nervous.
So there's that.
Okay.
Yeah. So is anybody on here scared of asking your hosts about trying out Pampered Chef? Anybody on here scared? Just like,
Sometimes.
So Sandra is, Yvonne's kind of, Michelle shaking her head yes. Debbie
So-
raised her hand, so she said yes.
so my suggestion, because I do it regularly, is doing things in your business that scare you, because it's pushing you out of your comfort zone and it's allowing you to grow. And that's where you grow. When you're in your comfort zone, you're comfortable, right? You're probably not challenging yourself. You're doing maybe the minimum that you want or need, or maybe you're doing like what you think you should be doing, but like you're good where you're at. You're not like pushing yourself to ask like someone that is on you would like to ask about doing a party or trying out Pampered Chef, but you're scared to. So think about doing things that scare you, because those are the things that are going to help you grow. And my challenge for everyone is, once you get off this call, is to text or message or reach out to at least 10 people that you have either had host with you, or guests that were really active in a party, or people maybe you personally know that are either out of work right now, or maybe they love to cook or bake, or maybe they can use extra money, or maybe you know that they have maybe a goal coming up of, you know, buying a home or saving for a wedding, or they have kids and maybe they want some summer fun money, whatever it is. But I would encourage you to reach out to 10 people. Why not? Just get off the call, message 10 people, and make it be your personality. You know, Yvonne, I don't know if you ever thought about earning some extra cash from using Facebook. I see that you're on here all the time, but I just wanted to, you know, let you know. Are you on here all the time? I don't know. I just made that up. But I just wanted to let you know that Pampered Chef has had our biggest selling month ever last month, and I really would love to help you to earn some extra cash from home. I know you do a lot of things with your kids in the summer, and I think you might enjoy having some extra cash. You know, what do you think about trying it out? Like, again, if she says no, whatever, dude. I mean, she says no, and then I'm like, that's no problem. You know, keep it in mind if you ever think that, you know, it's something that you might want to try. Or if Yvonne's not hosted a party in a while or ever, you could always follow it up with that. Hey, since you're not interested in doing that, let's hook you up with a Pampered Chef party and get you some freebies, right? Because now that's the easier question. If they're going to say no to the first, you can ask that second question, and they might be more likely to say yes because they said no to the first.
Right.
You know, but reaching out to people and asking them, because the more you ask, the more you make it part of your language and your verbiage, the less scary it'll be, the more often you do it. And, you know, it just becomes like your deal. Like, it's just part of my like word vomit. I'm constantly thinking about recruiting. I look at products and I know that they in my head, I look at products that are in the kits and I think recruiting. I look at the rock, you know, like that's my mindset. So I would encourage you all to do that and see what happens.
Okay, so we have two things in the chat for you. So Tiffany said, so I have two hosts that I have right now that are doing wonderful in their parties, and I've asked them 3 to 4 times and complimented them already, but they're still saying no.
Yeah. Are you asking the same exact time? I mean, the same exact way, Tiffany? Like, are you saying it differently? Yeah. Yeah. So
Said just keep going. Just keep going.
And I changed, like, so I had a conversation on the phone last week with a girl that was interested from a host, from a party, no, 2 weeks ago, from a party. She was interested right off the get-go about trying out Pampered Chef. She was all about it, blah, blah, blah. Then she messaged, and she already booked her party with me. And I was like, great, you already have your party booked. We'll do the party under you. And then last week she messaged me. She's like, you know, I think I'm just going to stick with the hosting for right now, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. So we started her party 2 days ago. As of yesterday, the girl had 3 orders and she already had $700 in sales. So I reached out to her. I was like, oh my gosh, do you realize you just got a $300 order? I was like, you have $700 in sales right now. Why are you not doing this? And she's like, actually, I was just going to message you and ask you how we now turn it around to me. I said, this is what we do. You click this link right now. And if you guys don't know already, do not ever send people to the Pampered Chef website. You send them to your website, personal website. Okay. Don't don't do Pampered Chef because then they'll get issued to some random person. But I said, order your kit right now, and we are going to have the people that ordered already go back on that new link that we make under you, and they're going to reorder their orders, so you get credit for them, and I'm going to delete the last ones. And that's what she did.
Yep, it works out.
She's at over 700 already. I mean, girl's almost qualified, and her party's like barely started.
You just have to keep asking. That's really what it's all about. You know, it's how many frogs do you have to kiss before you find the prince, right? That's, you know, just where it goes. All right, so we have one more question before we kick things out of here. So Debbie says she's brand new. She just joined the company. Well, first of all, welcome, Debbie. She's feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So what do you suggest she focus on first? And I'll tell you, Amanda has you guys focus on booking your first 4 shows and then filling your shows, 4 shows every single week on your calendar. So my recommendation is that you start there, because I know that's how she's directing you. And what they're going to teach you how to do is to find the recruit leads from those 4 shows. Okay. So really, you know, yes, you could start messaging people and asking people to join your team right away, but you're naturally going to find those as well from doing your parties.
Yeah. And a spinoff too of the prince. What I always tell people too is like, I'm not looking for you to marry Pampered Chef. I'm just looking for you to date it. Just give it a try. See what happens, you know? Because it's not a lifelong commitment that you have to like sign your life. And that's the thing, is I think there's so many other direct sales companies out there, and so many people have had, you know, have tried a bunch of them, that they have in their head what they've done before. And our company is so different in the way that like, you can really make it be a hobby if you want it as a hobby. You can make it be a part-time gig if you want it as a part-time gig. You can make it be a career if you decide you want to make 5-6 figures, you know, a year or a month or whatever it is. You can make it be what works for you. And the investment is so minimal compared to a lot of other direct sales companies. Like, you're really only coming out of pocket your kit, which is nothing, because you're basically buying products that you're going to use. So that to me is a wash. Like, that's not an investment really in my head.
Or I have a little girl who needs to say goodnight or she's not going to go back.
Hi, sweetie.
Say goodnight.
Nice.
Nice.
You go to bed?
She's
Okay.
the cutest little curly hair thing ever.
And then all really coming out of...
She's like, they can't hear me. I said, well, someone's talking right now. Hold on.
And then the only thing they're coming out of pocket, you guys, after that is their monthly website after their website's free.
Right.
You know?
All right. And Michelle says, I'm working this and another business. I want to ask them to host, but it's hard for me to ask. So I think, Michelle, you have to break that into a couple different pieces. First of all, so if you're doing this business and another business, I will tell you, and here's just Becky's brutal honesty, it's really hard to be successful at 2 different businesses, okay? You can't put all your time and energy and divide it and expect great results with both. It's just going to be really, really hard for you. So, I mean, if you're okay with, you know, results that are not really going to be, I don't know what the words I'm looking for are. It's just really hard to divide your time. We only have so many hours. Yeah.
It's like dating 2 people. How do you date 2 people?
Yeah.
It's going to
really
be challenging.
hard. Well, and for this reason too, I want you to think about this. When you start to message your friends for bookings, and you're divided between 2 different companies, and you're sending messages and you're trying to book shows for 2 different companies, your friends can get a little turned off by that, because then they constantly feel like they're getting messaged just about booking shows. So what I've seen in my years is that people that tend to do more than one business burn their circle of friends and family out a lot faster than what a consultant does when they're just simply doing one business. But, you know, it's a personal decision for you to kind of weigh out and figure out what, you know, I would say for me, I would figure out which one I really want to focus on, put my time and energy into that one, and then just be okay with the results of the other one. Because honestly, it's going to be hard to be really effective and give your all to both.
Well, and Becky, if I can touch on that too, because you know I do multiple things.
Yeah, she's a teacher, a baker, and a chef consultant.
Yeah, right now, like I bake at home, and I usually just bake for friends. It's really taken off because all bakeries right now are closed. So I've been bombarded. I have probably about $200 worth of cupcakes a week. But at the same time, like I have a Pampered Chef party going on right now, and I think it's up to like $1,400. Like it's insane. Now, when I teach, I'm kind of dormant. I'm Pampered Chef dormant during the school year, and then the summer, like I take off again. Like I meet with Becky, we talk about like what I missed over the year, and then I take it off. But like I have that priority that I know what's what. I only usually do one virtual party at a time because I also have the cupcake thing going on too. So you really do need to like kind of prioritize that time and figure out like where, like right now the cupcake, it's really consistent with what I'm making. So that's my priority. Pampered Chef is like my extra little pocket money. And this party really took off. And already I booked 3 other parties from that one party. So, you know, it just prioritized.
It's you just got to figure out where you're going to be okay with, you know. I mean, you can ask people, you can ask those other people from your other company. I don't think there's any harm in that. You know, that was kind of the second part of your question there. I think you just have to be okay with what your results are, you know, and just have realistic expectations with your time of what you can accomplish. Because again, we're only gifted 24 hours every single day, you know, and most of us are not working 24 hours a day. You know, so if you're going to have an hour every day to work your businesses, then you have to figure out how you can divide that hour into 2, right, for 2 different businesses, and kind of what you can accomplish in those 30-minute chunks for each. So it's just kind of hard. It's just something you're going to have to figure out. But just be very, very aware of how you're posting on social media, and that you're not just like, hey, you know, book a party with this company. Hey, book a party with this company. You know, here's this product, and then how you're messaging people. Just be very aware of that. All right, my friends. Well, our time is up. April, I appreciate you so much, my dear, for hopping on here with us. And
yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate your time. And
I'm excited for you guys. I can't wait to hear the results.
Thank you so much for sharing it.
Yeah.
Well, I know for our team, we have an opportunity event, how appropriate, this Tuesday evening. So make sure, as you guys are taking April's challenge and sending those messages for any potential recruit leads that don't say yes to you but are curious, make sure you're adding those into our opportunity group. I'll be live Tuesday night with one of our consultants from our team to do an interview then. And then I know we are getting ready to kick off our next round of Director Bound. And I know some of these faces that are on here are going into the next Director Bound. So with Director Bound comes recruiting, right? So this is the perfect way to kind of kick all that off. So, all right.
Team Dynamite, real quick, hold on. Team Dynamite, your opportunity event, I believe, is Wednesday. So
there you go.
Just as timely, and add them to that.
Absolutely. Yep. Make sure you add all those recruit leads. So, all right. Good night, my friends. Thank you so much. Thank you,
guys.
Good night.
Love you, girl.
Yeah, love you too.